Hello everybody and welcome to this first of its kind video here today. I'm going to try to very quickly go through the way I make skins for my PMDG. The reason why I'm doing this, I don't usually do tutorials and stuff like that, especially because when you do a tutorial, there's many different ways of doing stuff. And this in particular is just the way I did it. It's not the right way, it's not a wrong way. It's just the way I found it easier to do it with the tools that I have at my disposal. So please, if you do like what you see and if this helps you in any kind, don't forget to subscribe if you're new to the channel. Like the video, comment, let me know what you think. Aside from that, guys, let's get right to it, and I'll try to very quickly go through this tutorial and show you guys how I painted my aircraft. The very first thing you're going to want to do is download paint.net. This is what I use. If you have Adobe Photoshop or any other programs that read PSD file and all that good stuff, then you should be able to utilize those. However, I use paint.net because it is a free program, and I do not want to get Photoshop and pay $20 a month just to skin an aircraft or make a thumbnail or anything like that. I am not the kind of person that has $20+ a month to pay on a program if it's not gonna generate any sort of intake or pay for itself. So if you are the same type of person to where you can afford to spend that much money just for a program to be able to paint or skin aircraft or anything of that nature, then close that tab and definitely look into paint.net. Along with paint.net, you're gonna need to be able to open .psd files. So you're gonna want to download a plugin called PSD plugin for paint.net. It is available on their site here, as you can see here on the paint.net main page where you download the paint.net. There's a little link here that links you to the available plugins, and you'll find it in there. All this stuff will be linked in the description down below. So if you want, you can just click on the link and go straight away and get what it is you need. And just follow the instructions on the README files to install the plugins. Very easy to install. You just pretty much download, drag and drop into a folder in the paint.net main file, and you should be good to go. So again, you're gonna need paint.net, and you're gonna need the PSD plugin for paint.net. Another good tool that I suggest you guys getting is Notepad++. Notepad++ is basically like Notepad, but it's a way better software than your regular Notepad. So you don't need this. You can utilize Notepad, the regular Notepad that comes with Windows. However, Notepad++ is where it's at. It's way better, and in my opinion, it's a superior program than just your regular Notepad. And last but not least, you're gonna need to download your paint kit from the PMDG website right here. Whichever aircraft it is you're skinning or painting, whatever you want to call it, whether it's the the 737-600 or the 700, the 800, you're just gonna go in there and download your paint kit that you require. In my case, we are doing on this tutorial the 800, so I've already go ahead and downloaded the 800, and it's sitting on my desktop right now. All right, on to the next step, guys. All right, now as you can see, here's one of my files that I downloaded. This is the paint kit from PMDG. The next thing you're gonna want to do is navigate to your PMDG folder in your Microsoft Flight Simulator, and we're gonna copy one of the already existing aircraft just to mimic all the information. I'll show you what I'm talking about in a minute. My aircraft and all my add-ons are on a separate hard disk. If you installed it on your main hard disk, you're gonna need to navigate and find where all your PMDGs are installed. As you can see, I got all my PMDGs aircraft there under PMDG. I got the 736, 7, and each and every one of them is the aircraft and then delivery packs. So you're gonna want to open whichever one you decide to repaint or whatever. I'm gonna go with the 738, go to sim object, airplanes, and then just pick one. It doesn't matter which one, the easiest one. In our case, I'm gonna right click on this on the PMDG 737-800 Air Canada, and I'm gonna copy this and then I can go ahead and close that, and I'm just going to paste that folder onto my desktop, and there it is. So now we have this file here, which we are basically going to modify to make it fit our need, right? So again, you have your paint kit that you downloaded from PMDG website, and you have your duplicate file from the PMDG livery packs. So the very first thing we're going to want to do with this is rename the folder, right? Because this is going to be our aircraft. So this says PMDG 737-800 Air Canada, and then it's got a tail number. So I'm going to change that from Air Canada to, in our case, we're going to name it CST Tutorial. So CST Tutorial. Great. And then for the tail number here, I am just going to put C779ST. Great. That's it. I changed the name of the file. Now you're going to want to go inside that file, and with the model.ssw, there's nothing that you really need to do there. There's a file in there, model CFG. Don't worry about that. However, you're going to want to open the aircraft CFG with either Notepad or Notepad++ and make some changes here, right? So I'll show you what I'm talking about. Just go ahead and right click on it, open with. In my case, I'm going to open it with Notepad++. Now, if we look at this file here, let me make this a little bit bigger. Actually, I'm going to snap it here on the right side. Perfect. All right, cool. So now if we look at this in this file, it's going to have all the information for the aircraft, the name of the aircraft, call sign, the name of the folder, and all whatnot. Right. So version, nothing to do with version variation. Obviously, it is the PMDG 737-800. Don't need to change that. Now, when we go to title, obviously we did change the title of that folder. It is now called CST Tutorial, and it's gonna need to match the folder name. So I'm just gonna copy this right here, and then I'm gonna come in there, and I'm gonna change this to the new name, just like that. So now it's CST Tutorial C779ST. Perfect. Now the ATC airline, it says Air Canada. Again, I'm just gonna change that, and you're gonna change that to whatever airline you are painting per se, right? I'm just doing a tutorial here, so I'm just gonna call it CST tutorial, right? Flight number says 738. You can change that as well if you like. In our case, I'm gonna change it to 779, which has always been my flight number for the most part. And then after that is done, really the only other thing you're gonna have to change is come down here where it says Air Canada, and then the tail number, and change it to, well, we change that up here to CST tutorial, and then the tail number type stuff right there. So again, we're gonna do that, and we're gonna paste that right in there. Perfect. Now that that's done, you can actually go ahead and file and save, and that's good to go. You can close that. So now our aircraft CFG is changed to reflect the actual new name of the aircraft and everything else. Again, if you go into the model SSW folder and you want to take a look at this and kind of open it and see what it's all about, it literally just says the model of the aircraft and stuff like that. And that's it. The behaviors, good to go. Nothing to do there. All right. The other folder is the folder that we really need to pay attention to is the texture of the aircraft, right? So let's go ahead and snap it to the side, and then we're going to go ahead and open the paint kit folder as well. And we're going to snap this to this side. All right. Now, as you can see in there is literally all our textures. There's only a few files that we're concerned about over here that we need to modify to repaint the aircraft. And that's going down the line. You can kind of see what it's all about. We do not care about any .json files or any underscore comp. You're not gonna mess with any of those files, underscore comp or JSON. All right. The only thing we care about is this. Decals you can leave the same. What else do we have here? We are going to be messing with the engines, obviously. PNG. And then we're going to be changing the fuselage on the PMDGs are split into three sections: F1, F2, and F3. So the F1 underscore ALBD.png is the front section, F1. The F2 underscore ALBD.png is the middle section, F2. And the F3 underscore ALBD.png is the tail section of the aircraft, right? And then obviously you have the actual tail, which is your horizontal stabilizer, is the other portion of the aircraft that we're gonna want to mess with. Other than that, everything else is the wings and stuff that you really don't care about. So, having said that, we're gonna open these three files, and I'm gonna open them with Paint.net just to have them ready to go and modify them. So, uh, actually, it's not three files; it's more than three. It's the three fuselage sections, and then you have your tail and your engine. So technically, it's 5 files. So we're gonna want to open the tail. We're gonna want to open F3 ALBD PNG. We're gonna want to open the same thing, but for F2 and F1. And then last but not least, we gotta find our engine section, which is right here. So again, these are the only files that we're gonna mess with, which is basically the aircraft, the main aircraft. You got your engines, you got your front fuselage, middle fuselage, rear fuselage, and then your tail section. I'm gonna right click on this and I'm gonna open them with Paint.net. All right, so as you can see, we have the engine sections. We have the front part of the fuselage. We have the middle part of the fuselage. We have the tail section of the fuselage. And then we have our horizontal stab and winglets. So these files are the only files that we're not going to be modifying these files, guys. We're just going to save on top of them to make them reflect our new paint scheme. Okay. Now, in order to repaint the aircraft, let's go ahead and minimize this. We're going to need to go to the paint kit and find our corresponding files. So obviously, we are going to need to repaint the engines, which is this one. So I'm sorry, not the comp, but the ALBD, right? We said you don't want to mess with the comp. You want to do the ALBD. So PMDG NG3 underscore engine underscore ALBD. So that's one of the files we need. We're gonna need the tail, which is your horizontal stab, and out of this right here, you don't need anything else. So let's go ahead and open these two for right now. So now we have the engines and the tail, and we're gonna go through all this stuff here in a second. And then you're gonna go into the main folder that says either 800 or 600 for you, whichever aircraft you're doing, and you're gonna grab the fuselage. Now there's a master for the fuselage, and then there is a metallic, right? I'm going to go with the right here that says the one that says 73 underscore Microsoft Flight Simulator fuselage master. All right, so I'm gonna go with that one. I'm gonna open it with Paint.net. Beautiful. It's gonna load there real quick. All right, so now as you can see, we have our engine. We have our complete fuselage, which is not divided into three parts. Remember, I told you guys over here we have F1, F2, and F3. Once we are done reskinning this fuselage, we are going to have to divide it into three sections and overimpose it on the original files. And I'll show you guys how to do that. Very simple, very easy. Then we have our horizontal stabs, which is pretty much this, but this is the paint kit, right? It's got all the different layers and all that good stuff. So the first thing we're going to go ahead and modify is our engines. Now, the engines, when you open the paint kit, it already comes with all the layers turned on that need to be turned on, right? And what I mean by that, you have wear and tear, you have shadows or different colors and stuff, the turbine areas, the wheel wells down here, all that stuff is already turned on. If you want to turn all of these off, you can do so by clicking on the little check mark. For example, layer 71 is that section over there that we just saw disappear, right? So if you turn that off, it's gonna disappear. uh, I usually don't mess with that. I usually leave it the way it is. um, some options you do have is wireframe. You can turn on the wireframe so you can kind of basically it helps you, if you want to put a logo somewhere, exactly in the wireframe where you put it, so you can go like, you know on this particular square over here, that's what I put a sign or whatever, and I want to put it in the same spot on this side. It kind of give you like reference points, a way to guide you on the skinning process, right? So uh easy day. But anyway, these are the engines, right? And if you take a look at the engines that we got from the Air Canada, it looks like they did the engines all in black, and then the bottom portion in black as well with the Air Canada logo. Now, depending on what you want, these are the sections that you're gonna have to repaint. Right here, the gray stuff, right? Over here in this paint, in this particular paint kit, it's gray, right? And you can see that it's right here, layer 103. Boom, right there. So it's already there for you. Literally, all you gotta do is change the color. So let's say I want to make this red. I'm gonna pick a red, right? And then I'm gonna just go ahead and select the layer. It's important that you select the layer that you want to paint, and you just go ahead and go 1, 2, and 3. And as you can see now, our engines are red, but all the other layers, as far as all your oil stains and everything else, is still turned on, overimposed on that, so it's not going to change any of that. And if you want, you can add stuff. You can put your logo here, kind of like Air Canada did. You can just drop a logo there, and you can do the same, right? uh, Painting, I'm not going to go too much into painting. You're going to paint it just the way you want, right? So that's that. Now, if you just unclick layers, you quickly figure out what it's all about. Like, this is the KF on here, which I really don't know what that is, but it's whatever. We'll just leave it. So now that this is done, what you gonna do is you gonna save it on top of that, right? So obviously, this is a different file format. This right here is gonna be a PDM file, which I'm sorry, PSD or PDM, whatever, right? To paint, right? With all the different layers, you're gonna want to save this uh, file, save as. You're gonna want to save it as, it's a PSD file right now. You're gonna want to save it as a DDS. So you will say DDS, and then you're gonna go to your desktop, and you're gonna find the new folder that we made. You're gonna go in there. You're gonna go to textures, and you're gonna put it over the engines inside that texture folder. So basically, we are changing the Air Canada to whatever fits our airline of choice, right? So again, save it on top of that as a DDS file. It's going to ask you to replace the file. You're going to say save, and you're going to say yes, and okay. And then flatten as well. Boom. And we are done with the engines. So now basically, if I close this, for example, and I go to reopen it, again, under the new file that we just made, boom, there it is. It's only one layer, obviously, because we flattened it, and now the engines are red. Very, very easy, very simple. So now technically you are done with the engines, right? So we can close that, and we can actually close this as well. Cool. Now we have the fuselage. Now with the fuselage, like I said, in here, it's all one piece, right? But we're gonna have to divide it into 3 sections, which is the front, middle, and the back, right? So let's do that right now. I'll show you guys real quick. First of all, we're gonna paint it. We're gonna do something with it, right? Again, it's got all the different layers. If you want to turn layers on and off to kind of see what they do, that's great. You can actually turn your wireframe on as well on the fuselage, so you have a wireframe for a reference point. but do not forget to turn it off when you are done painting the aircraft. Otherwise, uh, your aircraft is going to look a little funky with a frame once you put it inside the sim, right? So for right now, we'll turn the wireframe on, and and then we're gonna scroll down to find our base color, which is right here, which is cool. I can leave it. I can live with that. Uh, and this is right here where it says this is all divided into sections, by the way. So this is the end layer group livery, and there's going to be a beginning of this group as well. So if you kind of look for it right here, it says layer group. This is the start of the layer group, right? And this is the end, and then you got your base color at the bottom. So the way I do it is, and this is all your little, door outlines. So if you turn them on and off, you can see like my door and windows outlines are coming off. Layer 93 is the little red underneath here. Um, this is your tail number. So what you could do is, you can go in there and you can change your tail number. And we said we want to change our tail number to um, C779ST. So we can quickly actually do that right now. What we're gonna do is we're gonna go to text. You're gonna pick the font of your choice. In my case, I'm just gonna go with something very quickly here. I don't care what it is, honestly. I'm just doing it to show you guys for showing sakes. And we're gonna do it in red. That way we can see. But you can put it anywhere. Kind of match the size font. And when I say anywhere, you can put it anywhere for the time being, and then we can move it once we're done. I'll show you what I'm talking about. So it's gonna be C779SD. Beautiful. And then you can go in there and you can kind of move it exactly where that one is, right? Just like that. Um, but before you do that, you're gonna want to get rid of the one that's already there, right? So um, we'll do this here real quick. Delete that, and then highlight the one you want and kind of move it in its place, if you know what I mean. Just like that. Cool. And then once it's there, then you can copy this one, right? You can go to this one right here, which was right here. Delete that. Paste it. Paste the new one in there, right? Again, select it. What you want to do is hold down shift and turn that bad boy upside down. When you hold down shift, it kind of snaps into place. And then you're going to want to move it in the same spot that the one at the bottom is. And you can use your reference lines here of the grid to kind of guide you on where that one is and do the same, if you know what I mean. Like that. That's what the grid lines are for, right? So you kind of put it as close as possible. So there's our tail number done, right? 800 here, that can stay that way. 738, those are the numbers at the bottom of the door. So you can change those or leave them like this if you want, but you get my drift, right? E-tops can stay the same. You don't have to mess with that again. And then over here at the very bottom, you got base color, right? This is where you're gonna want to add a layer, right? And rename it. I usually rename it to skin. And this is where you're gonna do all your other stuff. So let's say you wanted to put a logo somewhere. It doesn't matter what it is, right? At the end of the day, I don't have a logo here readily available with me, but um, I don't know. Let's say I wanted to put a line that goes from the nose of the aircraft to the tail, right? Um, and let's do a red line. Why not? And we'll do it 40. Just for showing purposes, guys. That's why I'm doing this. All right. So you put a line that goes from here to here. And if you use this tool, you can actually move that line around a little bit, kind of make it make it wavy and stuff, if you know what I mean. And there you go. You can do that, right? And then what I usually like to do is I'll make myself a temporary layer, a new layer up here, and then I'll copy this line that I just made and flip it upside down to put it on the other side of the fuselage, right? So I'll copy this. I'll go to my temporary layer. I'll paste it, right? And then I'm gonna go ahead and flip that. Actually, no, not like this because it's gonna be backwards if I do that. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to layer and I'm gonna flip vertically. Boom, just like that, right? So now you got that line over there. Now you're gonna want to put it exactly where that one is. So you can kind of move up a little bit with the arrows until you get it to where you want it. Just like this. And again, you can get as precise with this as you want with the grid. So you can kind of look at where this one is, kind of look at where that one is, and make sure that you get it as precise as possible. So anyway, there's your line, right? Beautiful. And then once you are done with that, then you would put this layer that you just made, a temporary one, inside the skin. So all you gotta do is go down here and merge. Now it's gonna merge these two together. So now it's just the skin again. And then the base color is your base color of the aircraft. So let's say you want to change the base color. You want to make the aircraft black, just for tutorial. You're gonna select the base color and whatever color you want to make it, and boom, there it is. Your aircraft is now black. And remember, you can't see them now because the aircraft is obviously black, but all the layers on top of that layer that we just created, the base color, are turned on. So your oil stains and everything else, you're going to be able to see those in the game, right? Obviously, with a dark aircraft, it's going to be less uh, noticeable, but yeah, that's what it is. All right, now that you are done painting your aircraft, let's say you are epic with this paint scheme and you're good to go, then you're going to want to turn off the wireframe. Always do not forget to turn off the wireframe and turn on the cutouts. All right, the cutouts are important because it helps you see where the three sections are, right? And it's red. Uh, what color was it? Red, yellow, and blue. Obviously, which has a base color that is the black won't let us see that stuff, right? But there it is, red, yellow, and blue. This is pretty much your section. Your F1 we were talking about, F2 and F3, right? So for the purpose of this tutorial, we are going to make base color white so we can see what I'm doing. But you guys get the gist, right? All right, so now that we have this, we can quickly just turn this off real quick. The one thing you're gonna want to do, guys, before we move on, I'll forget. These windows right here that you see are here for reference. Now you can leave them. They might be a little offset to your normal windows in the aircraft, but they're just here for reference for you to know where the windows are. Usually what I like to do is, because I found that in the past that it kind of shows, on top of the windows or whatever, and you can kind of see the outline. I don't like that. What I do is I'll try and find the window layer and turn that off before I proceed, right? So let me see. There you go, right there. So here's your window layout. So once you're done skinning your aircraft, you do not need the window layout anymore. Um, Again, it's just for reference, so you know where they're at while you're skinning the aircraft. The very next thing I like to do is go to all the files that I don't have ticked on. Like if there's no check mark by it, what I'll do is I'll go here and I'll delete it, because when we go to merge all these files, even if they're not marked, if you merge them, they're gonna show up on the kit, on the paint. So wireframe. Again, I'm done using it since I'm done painting the aircraft. So I'm going to go ahead and delete that as well. Now that I have all the files that I want turned on, I'm going to start, not except for the cutout. The cutout, you're going to leave it alone for right now. But I'm going to go here and I'm going to start merging all of these together. All the way from top to the bottom. There. Now, basically, we have one file here. Now we can turn on our cutout. And what we're going to do is we are going to carefully select only the red section of this. And we can scroll in and fine tune it. So again, we only want the red section. So go over here to where it says move selection. You don't want to move the selected pixel. You just want to move the selection. And then you're going to drag your line to the edge of the red section right there, right? So now that you have the red section, select the actual base color portion. Copy that by doing left control C, and then go into this file right here and paste it in there. And you're gonna want to keep the canvas, and there it is. So that's file number 1. That's your font section. Now we're gonna want to go ahead and move selection. We're gonna grab the far left and we're gonna bring it all the way to the edge of the yellow. Again, you can scroll in to kind of fine tune it as much as you want. There's that one. Again, Control and C. Go to the middle section and paste it on top, just like that. Now you got your middle section. And then finally, you are going to, again, move selection and drag that to your blue section. Just like that. Again, copy. Make sure that you are selected on the actual layer that you want to copy, guys. And then paste it on top of this one. Boom. So now we have F1, F2, and F3. Again, we're going to go ahead and right click on that. Save as DDS. And we're going to find the F1, which is right here. And save this on top of that. Yes. Okay. F2. File. Save on top of F2. Yes, please. And okay. And then F3, we're going to save on top of F3, which is right here, and say yes. And done. Guys, you're done with the fuselage now. You can close this. And you can actually close this as well. All right, we are done with the fuselage. Good to go. Now, the last section we have is the tail. This is the air cannon tail that we add. And this is the paint kit. Now, in order, what you want to do, like you can see what Air Canada did with theirs over here, right? We can do the same. So again, you got all these layers. You got the wireframe that you're going to want to turn off before you save everything. But here's your first layer. This is obviously the color of everything, you know, your wings and whatnot. So we're going to do something simple for the time being. We're just going to make them, black. We'll go over here and boom. All right, now we're done. So we're gonna want to go up here, turn off the wireframe, and I'm gonna go ahead and did what I did before and delete the wireframe because I don't need it anymore, and then merge all the other layers together. Copy this, paste it on top of that, and then we go to File, Save As, and boom, there's a tail section. We'll say Save, and yes. Okie dokie. Guys, once you're done with that, you can pretty much close out of paint.net. Cool. We can close that and that, and your aircraft is pretty much done. All you got to do is go into your directory, whatever your aircraft is saved. In my case, like I said, I have it separate in a separate folder, in a separate hard disk. I'm gonna want to find my liveries. Oh, there it is. Sim objects, airplane. Here's all your different liveries, and we're gonna want to go ahead. Actually, I lied to you guys. One more thing that we need to do before anything else is um, go to textures, and you're gonna have a thumbnail, right? A small, a regular thumbnail, and a small. You're gonna want to change that because otherwise you won't be able to find it. So let's go ahead and open that with one at a time here. Open this with Paint, paint.net. Yes, please. So there's that one. And if in our situation, I'm just gonna go ahead and put something on top of this so that I know that it's the stuff that we need, right? So I'll just put but you can change, you can take a picture of the actual aircraft once you get in game, and then you can fix that afterwards. But for the time being, like I said, I'm just gonna go ahead and I should create another layer. Yeah, let's do that. Create this layer real quick, and then we can write tutorial. I'll make it bold, that way I can see it better, and then I'm gonna make it bigger, just so we can spot the right aircraft right away. But like I said, you can put your logo in there. Uh, you can do whatever you want. I can't even spell tutorial, guys. What the hell did I just write? Oh, anyway, tutorial. There you go. It's better. All right, again. Holy crap, guys. We can do this. Beautiful. Now we can go to File, Save As. Again, now this is going to be a, what is it, a PNG file? JPEG? Yeah, it's a JPEG. So tutorial, you're going to save it over that. Cool. And then we can close that, and we need to open the other one as well. A small one. Open with paint.net. Same thing. We're going to go ahead and create ourselves another layer here. Gonna make it smaller. Beautiful. And again, I'm just doing this so I can find it right away. Cool. Now we can save it as well as PNG or JPEG, I'm sorry. And it's going to be the small one. Save. Yes. Okay. And flatten. Cool. Now we're done. Now that we are done and we are happy with our paint and everything else, we are going to grab our folder with our new paint, and we're going to drop it into the livery section of our aircraft. So put it in there, move it, and there it is at the bottom. All right, fellas, last but not least, you're going to want to open your PMDG Operation Center. You're going to want to find the livery you just installed, and you're going to want to go ahead and select that and export. And you can just put it on the desktop if you like. I'll do that. Put it on the desktop, save. Obviously, we're going to want to call it CST. just like that. And we're gonna want to save it, desktop. Done. Okay, now it's a it literally turned it into a PTP file. Now you're gonna want to go ahead and close this, reopen your file location, and go ahead and remove that out of the folder. You can put it back onto your desktop if you wish. Nice. And now we are going to reopen your operation center, and we are going to go ahead and install it from the PTP. We're going to go to livery utilities, your PMDG 800, install from PTP, go to your desktop. There's your file and open. That's going to say please wait, and it says installation successful. Are you good? You can close that, and now you can start your flight sim. All right, once in game, basically what you're gonna need to do is you're gonna need to go into the aircraft that you have skinned and find your new skin. In our case, here it is, CST tutorial C779ST. Let's go ahead and select our newly painted aircraft and pick a random airport of choice and set as departure. We'll change the time to daytime here and hit fly. We'll see you once we get in game. And all right, ladies and gentlemen, we are in the game right now inside the aircraft. It is cold and dark because that's the way I have it set to start in game. But let's quickly go outside and take a look at that Frankenstein paint job that we just did. And there you have it. You got your aircraft, base color is white. We did the engines in red. Obviously, the underbelly is going to be red as well. So if you wanted to match the aircraft, that's part of the engine section. So you're going to have to do the engines red, just like that. And then this section right here is going to have to be white like the aircraft. So you get the drift. But we got that one line going from the front all the way to the back. And then you have the tail and the winglets, that black color that we chose to do. Again, guys, this is not the right way or the wrong way of doing it. This is my way of doing things with the tools that I have at my disposals. If you don't like it this way, then by any means, go find a better way to do it. And I wish you the best with that. If this helped you in any way, shape, or form, I would appreciate it if you was to hit the like button, maybe subscribe if you're not a subscriber, and let me know in the comment section down below if this helped or not. Again, fellas, this is my way. It's not the way. This is the way that works for me. This is the way I know how to do it. This is self-taught because I couldn't find nothing really online without having to do either Blender or Photoshop, and I wasn't about to do all that, guys. So here you go. Again, if you guys enjoyed, smash the like button. Let me know in the comment section down below. What do you guys think? And until the next one, as I always say, guys, please stay safe, have fun, and peace out.